The following program may contain language of an adult nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of alltalkradio.net.
Oh, man, hold on. Wait a minute. This is some bullshit.
They're canceling the fucking show?
Yeah, they're planning on dropping us after 7 years.
That's bullshit. You still got people that listen and like the show.
Look, guys, you had a good 7-year run. What more do you want from us?
You're like a goddamn Oreo cookie. You taste like shit but swathed in the center.
Okay, goddammit. Our hands are tied, okay? Yeah, you're goddamn right, your hands are tied. Jerkin, pass me the duct tape. Motherfucker. Wait a minute. What are you doing? All right, tape them together. Yeah, motherfucker.
You know what? I think I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Tie it a little tighter. Tighter.
Maxwell Silverhammer, G.J. Jerkman, Cruise Control, and G Motors. Hellfire, I think somebody lit a cigarette. Nope, it's the hottest radio show on the internet. So keep it locked here from 7 to 9. Stim radio fan, they ahead of their time. And now it's lesson 1, man, this is lesson 2. No format because they keep it fresh and new. And this is what I call a real show. They tough as hell with a hard edge like a steel toe. They campaign like a base said. So if you're mad at them, call in, fuck some hate mail. And if you think that the jocks sound quirky, allow me to introduce you to the shit that irks me.
Alright, you sons of fucking bitches. Welcome to the shit that fucking cocksucking irks me. I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And I'm Ocelot.
Yes, it's me and Ocelot tonight. Jerkman had to go to a gay pride parade.
Yeah.
You know how to take a dig at Jerkman.
I knew you would have to.
Oh, look here. Now, let's see if G Motors talks some shit. Let's see what he says here. I told him you're working the board.
Yeah.
Watch yourself, no troll feed comments Shiget. Even you know.
What? Something about watch yourself with troll feet or something like that.
Yeah, what?
Okay.
Alrighty.
Oh, he's talking shit already.
He is.
So.
That's okay. Just remember that.
It's you're keeping a record now, huh?
That's right.
Damn. So, here's the thing. You know how I was commenting to you on the air or off the air a little earlier that I've gotten pretty goddamn good with my flip phone.
Yeah. Although that's going to be going away. You
see,
know that, right?
And everybody says that to me. Here's my problem, and this is why I've been so resistant to the smartphones. Because, on one hand, I get sighties that'll be like, I'll show you how to work that. I'll show you how they work. Even Jerkman does this shit. And, of course, they can't accurately tell me how it works because, they don't know, to you guys, it's a visual icon. We'll just click the little thing on the screen. Come on, man.
Right.
Just, and you're like, I can't fucking see that. Like I got this iPad now and that Bureau of Services for the Blind gave me, and my assistant at work's like, man, you haven't done anything with it? I'm like, dude, I touch it and it doesn't talk to me. I need it to talk to me. I'm not going to go to Sammy send you some site and get some vision all of a sudden, so I know what the fuck's going on. So he's like, well, I'll show you, man. So I'm going to bring it into work tomorrow and see if he can, show me, but I don't know if he can,
Oh, yeah.
But see, that's the other thing too. And then you get blind people, that are very, oh, man, I'll tell you how to do it, man. I'll show you, man. I'll show you. So then, when you ask them about it, they're full of shit. They're just like, oh, well, they don't call you back or they fuck around, like that Havander asshole, with, oh, dog, you need a better phone. You need a better phone. He's constantly, every time I see him. So the day I'm going to get a phone, the son of a bitch doesn't answer his fucking phone.
Right.
I called him even earlier in the week just saying, hey, I'm going to go to the store and get a new phone, so I'd like you to be there so you can, help me out finding something good. And he doesn't call me back, nothing, And then after the motherfucking fact, when I was like, all right, you know what, I'm just going to get a flip phone then, And honestly, this works fine for me. I don't know. I think, and even Cruise Control, who's the biggest maha in the world, he's like, why do you need a smartphone? So
I think at some point you're not going to have a choice.
I don't know. I mean, just seems like, because I've seen a few people with flip phones yet.
Yeah, but they are being phased out. They are being removed so that they're not going to work on the system anymore.
Man, that just sucks. You know, it's like forcing you to do some shit you don't want to do. Because I just cannot grasp the goddamn smartphone thing. You know?
I think it's just for you, it's going to be about finding the right one. And yeah, it's going to be harder for you. Let's face it, not being able to see what you're doing because it's all touch screen.
Right. Yeah, it's like guesswork.
Is going to be a lot more difficult. For you, it's going to be about setting up your buttons just right and being able just to get in there and pull what you need.
Yeah, that's not looking forward to it. You know, it's kind of like, you know, I know when everybody was like, you know, oh, you got to get a computer. You know, that was the same shit then. You know, I had sighties telling me that. I had blind people telling me, and the same thing. You know, it was just, you know, sighted people would keep saying, oh, you know, I'll show you. But, of course, they can't fucking show you. The first thing they want to do is click the goddamn mouse.
Right.
Well, I can't do that. I can't see the icon to click it. So, you know, then on the other hand, you get blind people that swear they're going to come over and help you and do all this shit, and they fucking can't. And then they get an attitude when you get an attitude, and they're like, well, I'm not your fucking, you know, well, dude, you're the one who offered, so shut the fuck up.
Right. It's like, okay, wait a minute. It's the same for us, though, too. I mean, I obviously am sighted, but I have to learn it on my own. Don't try and show me something, because how you do it is one way, how I do it may be another.
Right. Well, I prefer somebody show me. I need that, unfortunately, you know, in this case. And I don't need you to sit and hold my hand the whole way, but
no.
I just would like to learn some basics enough for me to be able to function with the thing. And that's the problem I've been running into, you know, where, again, you know, one person says one thing or they offer, and then, of course, they never follow through. And so it's just one of those deals where I'm like, fuck. Because, again, now it takes away my fucking independence.
Right.
Here it is with the flip phone. I'm totally independent. I know exactly what I'm doing, you know, and, you know, hey, I don't need any help. But then now I'm stuck in a situation where, oh, fuck, I got to rely on somebody to come over, sit with me, show me how the fuck this thing's going to work. And it's just a really goddamn nerve-wracking thing that I don't really like to think about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just I'm trying to hold on to this flip phone as long as I can. So, and who knows? I mean, I was surprised that I found this one, you know, that I have now. You know, where they said, well,
right.
we got this one. And I'm like, oh shit, really?
Because yeah, you don't really see flip phones out there at all, anywhere that you go anymore.
No, I get fucked with about it, but you know, hey, it works for me. You know, it's just like, and I know Jerkman makes it like it's, well, what are you going to get in the 21st century? Well, you know, I'm sorry, but it's not as easy for me as it would be for you, you know, in those cases. So.
Right. And it is going to be more difficult. That's just how it is. It's not going to change on that one. But at the same time,
I wish they would just have a phone where you could just speak all commands to it.
Well, but the thing is, if you get a smartphone, you can set it up for that.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say call this person, and I can roll with that.
Well, I mean, I know I'm not a big fan of iPhones, you know that.
Yeah.
But the one thing about the iPhone is that they do have Siri.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, that's about right.
Yeah. But she is all voice command. I mean, you can say, Siri, set my alarm for this. Siri, call. Siri, look up this. Siri. And it works pretty well.
It's just a question of getting it set up for that, because like I said, the one time I tried the iPhone, I mean, this fucking thing didn't do anything.
But how long ago was that?
Well, it was about 2 years ago.
Right. And so Siri's improved quite a little bit. Like I said, I don't have an iPhone. I don't particularly like them. That's my choice.
Right.
But as far as ease of use, especially for you, I'm thinking that's probably going to be the easiest.
Yeah, you know, I've seen some droids that are nice too, but the thing is, like, blind people are so dick slurpious, and that's the funny thing too. You know, I mean, you get, especially with you know, assistive technology,
right?
You get blind people that are so on something. Like, for instance, back in the days when I was using Window Eyes, which is another screen reading program, everybody was on JAWS. Oh man, you got to get JAWS. You got to get JAWS. JAWS is so much better. JAWS. Now I've started using JAWS, and everybody's sucking the dick of Window Eyes. So you're just going, well, okay, which is it? Now you just go with what your counselor tells you.
Pretty much, yeah.
And that's really what they do. They're just like, well, give them an iPhone. That's their quick and dirty fix to everything. And it's like, well, not everybody can work well with something like that.
No, I like my Android. You know that.
Yeah.
That's my thing. And they are working on IA for Android. Like I have Robin, and she is improving, but she's still limited. The reason I go iPhone for you in this case is because in the access that Siri has is integrated into the phone is a little different, and it accesses all areas where Robin isn't quite there yet.
Yeah, I guess that's just kind of although I got a buddy that's got a phone, but the problem is here now with that phone, and it seems very accessible. It's an Android, but it's a T-Mobile phone, so that would mean I have to change my carrier, which I really don't want to do.
Not really, because all phones go across the board. It just may go by a different overall name.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I remember asking about the phone with my carrier, and they were like, oh, that's a T-Mobile phone. We can't get that for you. And I'm just like, oh, God.
They just need to look and see what the comparable one is. I mean, I have an S5, and granted, this one happens to be the same across.
Right.
But it could very easily be on T-Mobile listed as an S382. They're the same phone, different model number.
Shit, it's just such a goddamn, once you find something that works for you, it's like you don't want to, rock the boat. You're happy with it. And that's why I've always been that way. I've never, because new things just fuck me up. That's why I hate change so much. And that's why, it's just like, hey, because to me, change takes away my independence. And anything that takes away my independence, I don't like.
Right, but change is only temporarily going to limit your independence until you adjust to it.
Well, I guess that's one way to look at it, yeah.
And in some ways, it can actually enhance your independence.
I don't know, though, because I've had, I remember there was years ago, my brother didn't like the way I was handling my money and the way I had him in my wallet. Well, that's what works for me. So he had this brainiac idea to rearrange my wallet. And I'll tell you what, I never fucked up a money system so much. And I said, you know what, I'm going back to the old way because this does not work. So, and he got so ass hurt when I told him, hey, this...
Well, not everything is going to work the way that people necessarily wanted it. It's about trying and seeing, and it didn't work.
No.
It wasn't good for you. You had one that worked for you.
Right.
Just because it didn't work for him, it's not him using it.
Well, see, that's it. That's why I'm like, why do I have to be forced to fucking... suck the smartphone cock, you know what I'm saying?
And because unfortunately, that's the way technology is going, though, too. So it's not necessarily, I don't like you using a flip phone. That has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the fact that technology is moving forward, and the capability of the flip phone is not there to stay up with that and be able to continue to function within the system. God. It's kind of like having a computer that you bought 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, that computer is not really going to be able to work on today's system.
Well, that's true. I mean, if you're using like Windows 98 or some shit,
right,
obviously that's not going to function.
Right.
But I just think that cell phones have changed too quick.
Well, but think about it. Think about computers in the same way. I mean, every 6 months to a year, there's a new operating system coming out. There's something. They're constantly changing.
Yeah, shit. I'm still using mine with Windows 7, and I bought it, 4 years ago?
Right. I still have Windows 7 on mine, too. But eventually, they're going to stop supporting that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to have to move up.
Yeah, well, that's it. And I guess I don't like the fact that it's, they're forcing you
to
do that kind of shit. It's like, well, let me integrate. Don't just, one day slap some shit down and go, this is how it is, pal, and you're just going to have to fucking, and... So we'll see. I like I said, I'm going to try with this iPad and learn that. And hopefully, like I said, I've had the thing since Christmas or close to Christmas.
Right.
But again, I can't get the fucking thing to work. I do what they told me and it won't talk to me. And I'm like, well, I can't use the motherfucker if it won't speak.
Yeah, exactly. And so we just need to, and it could be that there's a glitch going on in there. And at this point, you're going to have somebody sighted probably help you set that up.
Yeah.
To make it work for you.
That's what's annoying, because here it is.
But we all need help sometimes. In your case, it happens to be sight.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. I prefer to be independent.
I know that.
That's just my thing.
everybody needs help sometime.
I mean, somebody like the other person we were discussing earlier,
Right.
you know, they probably enjoy this shit. They probably would revel in it.
Right.
You know, which makes me wonder why they don't go get a bunch of electronic devices just so they can, you know, have all this sighting existence occurring. So, and for me, I'm just like, no, you know,
Right.
I know what works. This is what I want, you know, and, you know, I'm fully capable of, you know, managing with what I got here.
Right. But even I need assistance in some form or another at different things at different times.
I think, too, see, as a sighted person, I think you're more willing to take it, and it's not a slam on you or anything, but I think you're just more willing to take assistance because you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's,
I do understand what you're saying.
Right.
But for me, I hate taking assistance. I will be the first to admit that. However, that being said, sometimes there just isn't a choice. It doesn't mean that I necessarily like it, but I understand that that's just the case. I don't get a choice in that matter.
yeah, well, that's the bitch. So, yeah, that's been my reluctance. You know, and like I said, I love my flip phone. I'm really nice to it because I don't want it to go on me anytime.
I know.
So,
But eventually it's going to. I'm proud of you, though, for at least looking at the iPad and trying to get in there.
yeah, I'm trying.
I know how much you hate change.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know.
Well, but you understand why, though.
I
It's
do.
Not like I just want to be stubborn and don't
No.
want to switch. You know,
Right.
that'd be great if I could use this shit, but my thing is I hate relying on sighted people for
Right.
assistance. You know
And
what I'm saying?
like I said, I do. I totally understand that. It's not a put down. It's not a slam. It's not a, oh, I feel for you because you have to have. No, it's just a reality, and I understand where that comes from.
Yeah, and it's just the way, you know, the stuff I deal with, you know what I mean?
Right.
In my situation, you know, I got to deal with a lot of, you know, because you do get, you know, a lot of times people would rather do things for you than let you do them yourself.
Right. Well, it's easier. Here, let me just do it for you,
yeah.
rather than take you through and maybe teach you how to do whatever it is that you need to do.
Exactly. Well, even at work, you know, there's a database we have. And back in the day, you know, and this could change actually, and I might want to, because I have new supervisors, but back then, I only got certain permissions to do, I couldn't make any changes in this database, and I'm sure because they think I'm too fucking stupid, you know, like I'm too incompetent and I'll fuck up and
Right.
completely fuck. And so, you know, they gave, basically I couldn't make any changes, I couldn't do anything, I didn't have the permissions to do that.
Right.
All I could do was look at records. And so I said, well, how, if there's a change to the particular client or whatever that I'm dealing with, what do I do? And their quick and dirty fix was, call us, we'll fix it for you.
Right.
And I'm like, man, you know, that to me, now I got to interrupt your workload to do some sighty McHelpums for me, you know? So I hate that shit. And it's just kind of funny to me that, like, a lot of times sighted people will make you out to be a burden, but then put you in situations that make you a burden. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
No,
it's like,
exactly.
Like, okay, now is this like how do I want to put this? Like the martyr thing. Oh, I do so much for you.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
And you're like, well, you don't have to if you would just fucking, you know, show me how to do that. Well, I can't. Well, maybe is it that you can't? Or is it you don't know how to show me? Or what's the deal with that?
Right. Or, you know, are you uncomfortable with the idea that you may need to break it down and show me?
Right, exactly. And so it's like, man, I fucking, it gets annoying sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. And hey, like I said, even as a sighted person, like I said, there are different things that come into play for me. And it gets irritating when somebody's like, oh, well, it's like, really? Am I 2 years old?
Yeah.
Don't patronize me.
Yeah.
You know, if I've come to you and I've asked you for help or show me something, then to show me. You know, if I have a question about it, I'll ask you.
Yeah.
You know, or if you think of something like, oh, as I'm going through, I didn't think, but you may want to know X, Y, and Z goes in with this.
Right.
Fine. But don't treat me like I'm an incompetent child.
Well, this is the other thing that really fucking gets my balls too, is when people see me using my flip phone, they state the obvious. Do you know that they have phones where you can speak your texts?
Right.
and you're like, really?
Right.
You know? So it's kind of like when people probably tell you, when somebody sees you smoking,
Right.
do you know that could give you cancer? Like you had no idea until they just Jesusly came along,
Right,
and
right.
hit you with this knowledge that, you know, oh wow, really?
Really, I could? I mean, this can kill me? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea, you know. Hey, did you know that driving a car, you can get in an accident?
Right. You know,
Really? Yeah, no idea.
let's state the obvious here, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, when they do that, you know, they talk to you like you're a fucking moron, like you never knew
Exactly.
that there are these special phones out there that do it, and you're just like, well, guess what? You want to sit and show me one? No, I don't fucking think so.
Right.
Because you don't have the patience or the fucking ability to.
Exactly. This is why when I'm trying to train people on different things, I try, first of all, to go in at their level, because everybody's level on different things is different.
Right.
But I also try to talk to them like an individual, like an adult,
Yeah.
you know, and if you have questions, stop me, ask me, that's fine. If I'm going too fast, let me know.
Right.
Common courtesy things that I'm going to say, but this is how you do it. You know, if you want to take notes, great, you know, but you go here, you'll select this, you'll drop this down, you'll enter this, whatever the case may be that I'm training. But I try to keep it brief, to the point, and respectful.
Yeah.
You know, I hate people that go, okay, so if you take your right hand and you put it on
Yeah,
this
like the
little
ones-
thing right here, this is called a mouse.
The one-size-fits-all training
Right.
mentality. Yeah, it's like, man, no, I'm a little more advanced than that, so you don't have to teach me that way.
Exactly. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm not 2 years old. This is not my first time ever seeing. It's like, come on, you know. So, like I said, I do get it. I understand where it's frustrating, and I understand where it's frustrating because there are certain aspects of this that are just automatically harder for you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, on this, it's kind of like me and spelling. My spelling's atrocious.
Oh,
I know
mine
this.
sucks. I know that.
You know, but when somebody comes in and says, "Oh, you misspelled that," I know this.
There we go, stating the obvious again.
Yeah, you know, it's like, okay, you know, I
Or how about this one? When they'll laugh at you, and then they'll say, how do you spell whatever the word was you misspelled?
Right.
And you're thinking, well, I spelled it the way I thought it was supposed to be spelled.
right,
You
or
know?
or I spelled it phonetically. Sound it out, you'll get it.
Right, exactly. And
You
then,
know?
then they laugh at you again, and you're like, okay, the reason I spelled it this way is because, obviously, that's how I thought it was spelled.
That's exactly it.
So for you to sit there and go, well, how do you spell, how the fuck do you think I spell it? I spell it the way you see it spelled right there.
it's like you got way too much time on your hands.
Oh, yeah.
Get over it.
Or it's like, you know, the spelling Nazis. Well, you know, you
Right.
see them all the time. When they're losing arguments, of course, they love to dig at your spelling.
Well, and that's exactly it. And Ginger Snap, boy, he is a grammar and a spelling Nazi.
Ah.
And we go round and round on this all the time. And it gets there are sometimes I just look at him and say, get the fuck over it.
He's done that to me.
Yeah, he does it to everybody, and he does it to me, and I just look like, yeah, get the fuck over it.
Yeah, I sort of ignore it. You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever, dude. You know, this is what it
Yes.
is. It's my page. I feel like fucking spelling shit wrong. I'm going to.
That's
you
it.
know? So, yeah, I know that's been my brother's bullshit, too. Like, you know, when I used to use the dating sites, he was like, well, you know, if you don't spell well, women are going to think you're... And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what they think. You know?
I am who I am. Either you're interested or you're not. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, grammar is one thing. I think
Right,
if you're
and-
cutting, you know, if you're saying, I thinks, you know, then you're a fucking
Right.
idiot, you know?
Right. Well, you do want right. You want to use. There are certain things that you want to show that you are intelligent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, you don't want to look like a moron. Mm-hmm. But things happen. Grammar, spelling, things are going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, it is
Well,
what it is.
And it's the internet. Come on. I mean, you're posting shit. You're fucking around. This isn't our term
Right.
paper, you know? So, but everybody, they if they can dig something up, they will.
Oh, yeah.
Just because they're fuck faces like that, you know? And actually, my one buddy, Don, has a tendency to do that. You know, the minister we had on that one time.
Oh, right.
And he'll say shit sometimes, and I'm just like, you know what, Don, what's the point of fucking, you know, like I guess you see the humor in this, but I actually, you know, find it kind of retarded, you know.
Yeah, right. It's like, okay, I find this to be, at this point, I find it irritating, and you need to get over it.
Well, it's like the one time, and I've always told this story, when I was on it was one of those listservs, and you share, you know, people were, you know, sharing MP3, you know, music
Right,
and stuff like that.
right.
And I wrote Nickelback. Well, I thought it was Nickelback, but apparently it looked like Nicoleback.
Oh.
But I didn't know how the fuck it was spelled.
Right.
So this girl writes me and she goes, you know, do you mean Nickelback? And I said, yes, that's what I mean. Do you have it? And then she writes back, well, no, but I thought it looked like Nickelback. And I'm thinking, well, if you don't have it, then why the fuck did you open your dick sucker?
Right.
You know?
It's like, come on. You don't need to be this big on it.
Yeah. And then, so of course, I made this message out to the list and I said, you know, if you don't have the song I'm looking for and you're just simply out to correct my spelling because it makes you feel better,
right,
don't even bother responding. And everybody was like, what are you talking about? I like when people correct my spelling. And I did it, you know, because they're a bunch of blindos that are used to that shit.
Oh, right. It's like, no, get over it. I don't have time for this. Answer my question or not.
Yeah. Do we
That's
have it or
what
not?
it is.
So,
I've got a great question for you, though.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
Do you know what a break is?
Yeah, we're going to it, huh?
We are.
All right. Well, guess what?
That is
if you can get it working.
See?
Uh-oh.
And this is the problem we're having tonight, guys, so bear with me.
Bear with us. It's just the pad. Well, see, Jerkman took the other pad. So.
Yeah, and.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see if it's going to let me.
Let's see, bumper out.
That's what it's not letting me.
Oh, motherfucker. You know, see, there's the other thing with fucking technology. It's like, why do you get vaginal with us?
Exactly. It's like, come on.
Come on, technology. Let's hear that. And I know that was great, too. That would have sounded awesome.
Right. It's like, come on. Let's try this, and I'm going to try putting the rest back in if I can get it just to take this one.
All right. Let's see if it takes it.
Let's see.
Try it out here. There we go.
There we
All
go.
right. We'll be right back, bitches.
We are anonymous, and you're listening to Maxwell Silverhammer.
Stim Radio. Stim Radio. It's the shit that If you're a fan of hip-hop and R&B, join me, the Brubra Ren, for a full non-stop hour of back-to-back slappers. Back-to-back slappers. Where the playlist spans from genres like R&B, soul. R&B, soul. Hip-hop bangers like
25 sitting on 25 mil, I'm in the building and I'm feeling myself. Rest in peace, Mac Dre. I'ma do it for the bay, okay? Getting paid, we'll holler whenever that stop. My team good, we don't really need a mascot.
classic throw.
Yee! What up, though? It's the undeniable JT Money, a.k.a. the Bitchizer, and you tuned in to Stim Radio with Maxwell Silverhammer and GJ the Jerk Man. Heavy that, and guess what? They hate hoes almost as much as I do, so don't sleep on these cats. And speaking of sleeping, don't forget to check out my new single, Hustling, from my new project, Morning Wood. It's going down heavy, baby. And speaking of being out, I'm out like a busted traffic like you already know. Get him, Jay!
All right. We can tell Ocelot's working the board tonight.
Oh, fuck you. I hate this freaking pad.
Yeah, hopefully you guys didn't have dead air for too fucking long.
No, they shouldn't have. And the thing is, they're all listed right here. They're not playing.
I think we're going to have to sit here and watch it next time and just babysit it.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on it.
Man, oh, fuck. You know, wouldn't you love if I just did a show where it was just straight fucking through 2 hours of no break?
Oh, God, shoot me.
And that would be, no, I like the break. I think the break's good.
It gives a chance to kind of clear your head. Think,
yeah.
You know, it's like.
We used to do, when I first started, sometimes we just would do it the whole show, 2 hours of just talking. And now I'm thinking back like, damn, that was, wow. How the fuck did we do that? But if there was 2 or 3 of us, it wasn't too bad.
Right. Yeah. You know, it's not that bad. The show moves really pretty quickly.
Yeah, in most cases.
Yeah, it's not. It's more, I think at this point for us just sometimes to get up and stretch and clear our heads a little bit before we come back into it.
I like to be able to do that. It refreshes me and sort of recharges me a little bit.
Right.
I'm like, oh, great. So, which, by the way, had a great interview with the Flatliners last night. That was awesome. Even got positive feedback. I rarely get any feedback on my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's most of the time I have somebody on for the interview. But it's always nice when people tell you thanks or you get comments on the interview, which on that one I got a comment. I've got a few people subscribing to my YouTube channel now. I got some emails and texts this morning,
Wow.
So, that was very surprising and refreshing, because most of the time it's like I'll do an interview and then you don't hear shit. And see, this is the problem. It's a double-edged sword because I get these, like no-name rappers, who just want to be known.
Right.
And on one hand you're going, well, fuck, dude, what separates you from everybody else and why should I have you on? But at the same time, they promote the shit out of the show. So you can't just tell them no, you know what I mean? So you're like, okay, well, how do we do this? And, although I'm getting pretty tired of having interviews on that don't, their music's not that good and they're not that good of an interview.
Right.
Because I've had those.
It much harder, yeah.
Or like even yesterday when I put up the thing about the Flatliners coming on, I got all these fuckers popping out of the woodwork, just kind of, no-name guys that are trying to make their mark in the rap kid name. And, they, hey, can I come on your show? And I'm just like, dude, I've never heard your shit. I'm not going to tell you yes. And not only that, but you're trying to promote on somebody else's, inbox me with that shit. Don't, when I put up something that somebody's coming on, don't put a comment up there and say, can I come on, man?
Right.
Being a coattail riding motherfucker. And then, some other people are putting up, oh, man, you need more of this on your show, and you need more. And you're just like, man, dude, I understand you're hungry.
Right.
And,
But come on now.
Yeah, don't fucking sit there and, try to. And this is why I don't give the phone. I hate this shit, too. I don't give the phone number out when I've got an interview on.
Right.
Because the motherfuckers that call want to promote their own bullshit.
Exactly. Oh, look, I'm XYZ, and I see you got so-and-so, but look, my new album's coming out, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, the funniest shit was when it was OG Sin Loke, who was part of the Bangin' on Wax. And I actually had him go on my other buddy's show, the So Focused radio show. And so he had OG Sin Loke on and everything. And so he gave out the phone number. So people were calling in, promoting their own shit, and then he was trying to drag him back. He's like, man, we got OG Sin Loke here, man. What's up? And they're like, oh, man, yeah, you're a legend. But anyway, man, yeah, hey, man, my new shit's dropping. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy J-Bone, D-fucker, and you're just like, oh, man, come on, dude, really?
It's like, come on, it's not your show. Come on.
Yeah, push your own bullshit.
Right.
So.
It's different if the guy says, oh, yeah, so-and-so, we got so-and-so in line. By the way, he's got whatever coming out. That's one thing. But seriously?
Well, and two, these guys want to, a lot of times it's a showboat situation for some of these guys, and they just want their homies to call in and shout them out the whole time. So it's like, well, you didn't get an interview because your homeboys were calling in the whole time, you know, doing their shit, and you know, hey, what's up, D-Bone? You know what I'm saying? My homeboy from the South Side, you know, J-Love, nigga, fuck you, you know, and you're just like, okay. So what kind of interview did you get out of that? You really didn't get anything out of it. I mean, nobody really. We didn't
getting to learn anything new about you or anything else.
We didn't talk about your music. We didn't do shit. You know, it's just you had your buddies calling in the whole time, promoting their stupid shit. And, you know, and actually there's been people that I've cut off. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're not calling in for the artist, fuck you. You're out of here, you know.
Yeah, we need to move on. Come on now. Let's get realistic here.
Yeah, that's where I start getting a little tough with that shit. And then, or like these, and some people think, you know, here's another thing. Just because you do music or you do something, it doesn't entitle you to an interview. So, and I get a lot of people that, you know, are like, hey, man, like one guy actually emailed Jerkman one time when he heard somebody else on. And Jerkman gave me the info, and honestly, I just didn't do anything with it because I thought that was kind of fucking classless. Like, dude, you know, we had this guy on. Do you like his music or not? Do you talk about the topic at hand? Don't just fucking try to get in there and promote your shit. So then the guy sends me a friend request on Facebook and a message, and hey, I emailed you, and I'd like to come on your show. And I'm like, dude, I haven't even heard your music. Will you send me something so I at least got something to work with?
Right.
So he did, and you know, his music was decent. And I said, okay, man, were you getting a shot? But, you know, if you suck, you're fucking out of here.
Well, that's it. It's like, come on. So Joe Blow off the street says, oh, yeah, I got this. Great. Here, put me on your show. And, you know, it's some crazy bullshit that you're like, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I love that, too, the suggestions. Oh, you should get this person on your show. Why? You know, like, I knew one person actually knew someone who was like, they were in a cover band or some shit. And I'm like, that's not what I do. And they're like, well, you don't want, you know, just because it's radio, you got to find the right demographic for who you want, you know what I'm saying?
You got to know your audience. And if you don't have an audience that's going to be interested and want to hear this, then why?
Yeah. I get that shit all the time. Our people have no fucking clue. They think I do some kind of inspirational show about being blind or some bullshit like that.
Right,
you know?
right.
And I'm like, no, it's not that kind of show, man. And they're just like, well, and then when they hear it, they're either very fucking appalled, you know, and you're like, I told you, you fucking moron. You know, that's what we're doing.
Did you think I was lying to you that I actually did this inspirational show, but I wanted you to think it was a fuck you show?
X-rated and fucking use profanity and all kinds of other shit. So
when I say that you may not want your children listening to the show, I mean, you really don't want your children listening to the show? Come on.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, there's been some people that have really tried to push, and then you're just like, man, dude, it's not, especially older people. I don't think they get the fucking, because, you know, back then there wasn't that kind of radio.
Well, no, you couldn't, you know, you were limited, you were FCC regulated, you couldn't say certain things.
Yeah, so they just totally don't fathom that this show is, you know, we use profanity, you know, and I've had people throw ideas at me that I just didn't like, you know, that like one person in particular who I won't say who it was. Well, you don't know them, but anyway, I don't want to put them on blast because they were trying, but they were like, hey, I know somebody who could write you some jokes. And I'm like, this isn't the fucking Amos and Andy show.
Right, yeah,
you know?
No.
Hey, Jim, I tell you, I was walking up the street and this guy says to me, where you going? And I said, I'm going to eat, you know, or something.
Right, exactly. Well, you know, I do give you that script every night.
Oh, yeah, I try to read it, but you know, that's yeah. There's the other one. What are you talking about? What's gonna be your topic?
Whatever pops into my head at any given moment.
Did you just hear a voice, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't just me.
No, it was earlier. We got someone active tonight.
Something like a guy's voice saying something. I didn't hear what it said, but it said some shit.
Well, when we walked in from outside this last time, it said hi, and I think it was trying to get our attention again.
Oh, you heard it when we came in?
Yep.
See, I didn't hear that, but I just heard now. It said something. I couldn't even tell, like, no or something like that, or whatever the fuck it said. So I guess it wants to get on radio. What?
Well, you know, every once in a while they like to get a little active and they like to come in and show off a little bit around here.
I guess so. Well, it must be interesting haunting a radio station. Yeah, it's probably a pretty cool place to haunt.
I mean, think about all the characters we have in and out here on a daily basis.
Well, that's true. Yeah, we do have some pretty colorful fucking people.
Yeah, we do. And, every show is so extremely different from the other.
Yeah, that's true.
There's that variety of personalities that we have in and out of here.
That's true. And they bring in their own shit.
Right.
Or even people that aren't, they're on the show, but, maybe via Skype or the telephone.
Right.
Something, so there's been a lot of different kinds of guests on. And, which, there's another guest that annoys me. And this is the term that I've now coined called getting macho sauced. And that's when you have a guest on that you were very excited about, but they come on and they suck.
Oh.
And you're just like, oh, that's a disappointment. And
oh, yeah. Did you just hear that?
that was my stomach.
Oh, was that your stomach?
My stomach, yeah, my stomach.
That was loud.
It went, yeah.
Yes.
No, that was my stomach. I'll take full responsibility for that. That was totally me.
That stomach is scary.
Which, by the way, I may be farting tonight. I'm not sure.
No.
And
No.
it may be happening. Just so you know.
No.
Maybe ripping some farts.
No.
I ripped a few when we were outside, but,
Outside where I can move away, I got no problem with it,
Well, when what's-her-name was here earlier, I was ripping them a little bit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't want it wafting over in my direction, thank you.
Oh, really? I'm just trying to share the wealth.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm going to have to bring in some super heavy-duty spray to keep in here.
Yeah, no, my farts aren't that bad.
Poor Jerkman.
What?
Man, you let that one off in his face, and I thought he was going to fall over dead. He turned green.
You mean when he was bending down to get his phone?
Yes.
And, just for the record, I didn't mean to fart in his face. I had no idea his face was even down there.
Right.
I just ripped it, and he must have been grabbing his phone at the same goddamn time.
Like I said, the poor guy, he literally turned green. I thought he was going to fall over and die.
Well, that's pretty bad if somebody, just rips one right in your face, That's that definitely can fuck you up. Hey, do you think we'll be able to do an SMJ tonight?
Maybe. Let me see if I can find.
Okay, because I'm going to do it, after in the next segment. But
right.
I just want to know if we're able to do it. If not, I'll still talk about it. But I just thought maybe we'd have the intro music for it.
I've got the music here. We'll see if we can get it to play. That will be
the challenge.
Yeah,
this has been the challenge tonight with technological ass fuckery.
Yeah.
So,
it's freezing up, guys, and not wanting to play anything I put over there, let alone put things over there.
God damn. It's always some shit, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to tell Jerkman he's not allowed to take that other pad anymore. He has to take this one.
There we go. Another reason to love pads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking touch. Actually, I can't blame it on pads. That's computers do the shit.
I was going to say, it's the technology, period.
It's just the way shit works sometimes, or like the site I use. Like I've told Jerkman, when I've gone home to download my shows off the All Talk page and put them up on mine.
Right.
I run into so much stupid shit, whether it's, I'll click the download button and then it takes me to another page that my antivirus program is like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, right. Oh, I hate when it does that.
Yeah, it's like, look, stop trying to sell me your shit. And that's the other thing. Do we really have to be inundated with these motherfuckers act like the economy is just great right now. Like, people just got money to just throw away and wipe our ass with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my favorite is it takes you to these pages and you're like, no, I want out. And you're clicking out and it says, do you really want to leave this page?
Yeah, motherfucker, I want to leave. Don't give me this, stay on this page. Or then it wants you to update some kind of Flash player.
Right,
Why?
right.
So you can sell this shit to me? No. So I can have the pleasure of looking at your bullshit commercial?
Right. My Flash player is just fine. Thank you very much. I'm not updating.
Yeah. Or the new one that I'm getting. So what was it? Certain content was blocked because your Silverlight player is out of date. Well, that's good. That means you can't fucking feed me commercials then, right?
Yeah. I gotta love that. It's like, really?
Try to sell me your bullshit. Well, it's, everywhere you go, not just online, but you're inundated with some fucker trying to sell you something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even now, and I've always talked about this with the telemarketing. I've been getting phone calls, the two kinds I get the most. are the ones wanting to lower my interest rate. You know, it's account services or whatever the fuck it is. And I've told those jackoffs countless numbers of fucking times, take me off your list. Before I can even get take me off your list out of my mouth, they hang up.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the point of that? I'm a customer that's never going to buy it. So why do you want me in your database? Do you think if you piss me off enough, I'll buy it? I mean, what marketing major came up with that brilliant
Well,
strategy?
yeah, it's going to wear you down, and you're going to buy it just to get them to shut up.
Okay, fine. I'll whatever you want me to do. I'll take the service. No, I'm not going to take the service. I'm going to fight you on it even more. And but see, the thing is, too, it's never consistent. They'll call from all these different numbers.
Oh, yeah, they've got, like, 25 numbers.
Oh, shit, more than that. They just make up numbers, and they're popping these numbers out, and you're going, what is this? You know, and different area codes and all kinds of shit. So you answer every time. Then the other one that's really great is those Life Alert jackoffs that call you and say, hello, seniors. We have whatever it is, the government has subsidized this shit for you to get Life Alert. And, it's like, okay, I've tried to tell you fuckers I'm not a senior. So why are you pushing this shit to me when I'm never going to buy it?
Oh, yeah. So my favorite is, especially at work, business phone.
Oh, yeah.
Listed as a business phone.
Uh-huh.
And you know what I spend my day fielding most calls on?
Which?
Telemarketing.
So what kind of calls? I mean, are they auto dialers or are they...
Some are auto dialers. Some are people calling in directly trying to say, it's like, this is a business phone. I don't know.
Well, no. I love this one. You want to speak to the marketing department?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, we don't have a marketing department.
Can I speak to the owner? No, she's not in the store. I'm the GM. Can I help you? Well, I need to speak to the owner. Well, then I guess you're never going to be able to speak to anybody.
They know what's going on. And I'm sorry. I know you got to do what you got to do, but fucking work at McDonald's before you do telemarketing.
Yeah,
telemarketers everybody hates telemarketers. It's like, and
I know, like I said, you're right. I know that they're doing a job. They're trying to get paid just like the rest of us. They got bills to pay. I get that.
Yeah.
But if I'm telling you no, and if I'm telling you the owner is not here, and if you're trying to sell something or want us to buy your product for the store, then you need to speak with me.
Well, and then they get attitude-y when you tell them to fuck off. It's
yeah.
like, you know what, asshole? Not my fault you had to blow your dealer for your Tina Rock for the 5th time this week because you couldn't make your commission. I don't want to buy this shit. Nobody's going to buy this shit. Take us off your fucking list. Otherwise, it's called duress. You might want to familiarize yourself with that term because you're calling somebody constantly trying to force them to buy something they're never going to buy. But Corporate Jolly doesn't care. Hey, keep them in there. Keep them in there. It's a number.
I'm dealing with vendors trying to make orders, dealing with customers and sell things and the store. Got people waiting. And the phone rings. Do you really think I have time to stop and talk to you? Seriously.
Yeah. Well, especially in your case, it's the store. So for them to call, that's do any people know you're a store?
When I answer the store, I answer with the store
name. Do they still get it? Some people don't. They'll just plow ahead with their dumb shit.
Well, and they don't hear it. They don't listen. They don't hear it. It's like,
Well, you get the, the ones that say, can I speak to the marketing department? Or can I speak to the head of whatever, whatever they call it.
Whatever. It's like, I'm the GM. What can I help you with?
Yeah.
I just cut them off.
Oh, yeah. They get really, I had one person one time that was like, so you're not and I said, no, I'm not. And we don't have that kind of department. She's like, so you're not paying the bills there or something like that. And then she hung up on me. And I'm like, don't get a fucking attitude with me.
Wow. Yeah. No, and you know me, I can shut you down in a heartbeat. So you don't want to get attitude with me on the phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like, not the right time. I'm at work. Fuck you.
Way too many years in customer service and supervisory and being on the phones. Don't try it with me.
Yeah, that's the worst shit. I'm amazed that telemarketing shit even works anymore. But I guess, like we say, people wouldn't do it if it didn't work, right?
Now, don't get me wrong. I have had people call and, they'll say, hey, I've got this product. I understand your store. And if I've got time and it's something that I may be interested in, I will listen.
See, in my job, we're not supposed to take any of that shit.
Right. But see, because I'm a store...
Yeah.
And we're ever expanding a new product and things like that for our customer base, then I had somebody call in and they sell popcorn, prepackaged popcorn.
Okay, so that's relevant to what you do.
Right, which
you
is
know?
not something that we had in the store, but I know that I have regular customers
Right.
that have said, hey, why don't you carry popcorn? Okay. Something I want to hear about.
Right. So obviously
You know?
that's relevant to what you guys do. But yeah, in our situation, it's like, nope, sorry, I'm gonna shut you the fuck down right now, and I don't give a shit what you. And the one I love is, like you said, the ones who don't listen.
Oh yeah.
Like I got this weird one time that told me that I filled out actually it was on my cell phone, and they said they're responding to, what was it, the job survey that I filled out online, and I said, I'm at work right now. I was like, I'm not looking for a job. And they're like, well, sir, we're trying to help you find the... And I'm like, listen, shitface, listen to what the fuck I just said. I finally told the guy, I said, stop looking at your rebuttal sheet and listen to what I say.
Right.
Okay, I did not fill anything out online looking for a job, so fucking don't call me. And then, of course, he hung up then, because...
Oh, yeah. Well, my favorites are the ones that... They're the auto dialers and their recordings.
Oh, yeah, it tells you to please hold for a very important message.
Right, we have a very important message. If you have been in business for 6 months or longer, we have a loan for you. It's like, really, click.
Yeah, goodbye.
Seriously.
Yeah, don't call me and expect me to hold.
Right.
So I'm taking time out of my busy day to talk to your stupid ass.
I
so
got 5 people
there.
in line. I turned around to answer the phone because it's ringing, and you're giving me this? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, no.
Fucking annoying. But I guess, like I said, if somebody's ejaculating glass down your throat on a regular basis, it's kind of a tough life,
Right. And they do, like I said, at the store, there are days, I'll be honest, I've gotten so many that I just stop answering the phone.
Oh, yeah. And that's common in stores. People like, well, what would somebody call you for? You're a convenience store.
Well, and
So
I do have
come on
people
in.
calling saying, hey, do you take EBT or do you have this product or whatever? So I do get some legitimate calls that way.
Right.
And then because we are kind of a family store and localized, we do have certain customers that call in and say, hey, I'm coming in and can I just pick up 5 peppuccinos and 3 packs of cigarettes and blah, blah, blah. And we have it ready for them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, because we are kind of a family store, it's a little different. We kind of go out of our way for our customers.
Right. Well, that's different. You're not a 7-Eleven. You're not a, Circle K.
We're a mini mart, but we're an independent mini mart.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you, that's, but there's always some asshole. Or how about these motherfuckers? The off-the-street walk-in vendor?
Oh, yeah.
With the bag. There was one time, matter of fact, it was last Friday. I was at Wendy's with my assistant from work, and some fucker comes in, and I'm glad he didn't talk to us, because I wouldn't have been too nice. But I heard him talking to the guy next to me. He's selling cologne.
Oh, yes. Big old bags. Oh, look. It's like, go away.
Yeah, I would love to take one of their colognes and then have them fucking try to say I stole it from them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, shit bag. You gave it to me. So, you know what? Fuck you. Call the cops.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so funny because on my way here today, because GJ contacted me and said, hey, can you come in and do this? Because he had that red carpet event he had to go to tonight.
You mean the gay pride event?
Yeah, right. And so with everything going on at the store, I said, yeah, I'll be there as quickly as I can. And where I'm at to here, taking the freeway is way out of my way. So I take streets. And it's interesting. On my way here tonight, I noticed, I don't know if it's been like that or if it's just really picked up, but I think it's picked up. I saw more panhandlers on the corners on my way out here. Don't get me wrong, they're always out there, but I'm not exaggerating when I say it was almost every corner.
Oh, yeah, it's getting...
Between where I am, way out in the lakes, for those of you that are out here, Summerlin area, you know where that is, to all the way almost down to the Strip, which is where we are. That's a long way.
Damn, and it's all panhandlers, that whole
I
stretch
was seeing, I would say 3 city blocks down from where I was coming from, starting at that point, almost every corner.
Wow. Man.
I was just like, I'm amazed. I couldn't believe I was seeing as many as I was.
Well, and here are the other ones, and I don't know, they're black guys that are dressed up in real nice suits, and they're walking around and they go from car to car. So I don't know. Is that the Nation of Islam fuckers?
They are, and they're out there looking for their support and donations, and they've hit me up a few times. I don't even roll my window down. If I have it down and they're coming by, I roll it up.
Like you're gonna donate to the Nation of Islam?
Yeah,
Come
I'm
on,
like,
man.
seriously? I'm not putting a burqa on, and you don't want to try and go there with me.
Yeah, Allah Akbar, motherfucker. So, yeah, that's funny because I was riding with my assistant one day. He was like, what are all these black guys that are all dressed up nice? They're going from car to car. And I said, I think these are those Nation of Islam.
They
dudes.
are.
So, yeah, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. And they're out there. You see them on almost every center divider almost out there. Because that's where they like to stand, is on those center dividers in between.
Well, here's the thing. I don't mind a panhandler. But I don't. The ones that bother me are the aggressive asshole that come up and give you a sob story.
Right, right.
Oh man, my car broke down, and I've got prostate cancer, and I got all this shit wrong, and you're just like, fuck off.
You know, the ones that irritate me the most are the women and men both that are dragging little kids around out there going, especially. I'm sorry, women. I'm going to tell you this. The women came out with my boyfriend and he's abusive and I just need bus fare to get back home and blah, 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 blah. Really?
Yeah.
First of all, you expect me to believe that story.
Right. And then you add a kid to exploit, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now the kid grows up thinking this shit's okay.
Exactly. You're tagging around 2 or 3 kids with are you kidding me?
Yeah, that shit pisses me off. That's where you're like, you know what, fuck yourself.
Right.
So, and I don't have a problem telling them to go fuck off. You mean, you might get yourself in a situation, but usually they get just attitudey and then they walk away.
Right. Yeah. No, like I said, or the guys will do this one more often. It's like, do you have any change or anything? I just need money for bus fare. I'm just a little short. It's like, yeah, I know that the donut shop's right over there, but I'm not paying for your donut.
Right.
Seriously.
Actually, there's one guy that I think I will give him money next time because he had a very cool rebuttal to me. Because I walked by and he said, hey, guys, I need some money, blah, blah, blah. And I said, do you take credit cards? And he goes, no, but your ATM does. And I was like, oh, very good. Yeah. So I'm thinking, you know what? If I see that fucker again, I think I may give him some money just for his cool rebuttal. Yeah. But, as a rule, I don't give them money.
And the sad part is most of them are full of shit.
That's what I'm saying.
There are legitimate ones out there. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying that everyone that is out there saying they're homeless and they're just trying to do what they got to do till they can do more.
Yeah.
There are those, but there are also, I know plenty out there that are making better livings than I am doing this crap.
They had a dude on Fox 5 who was pretty much bragging that that's what he does for a living. And he lives out in Green Valley, and this is what his job is. He comes out and he panhandles, and he's made, a couple hundred a day. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not giving you money. And, a lot of them, too, I'm sorry, but they put themselves there.
Well, yeah, but there are extenuating circumstances sometimes. So I'm not going to. Right. And that's why I'm not saying everybody.
But I would say that's the exception, not the rule.
Right. I used to carry around, like, ramen and bottles of water. With little plastic silverware and the little disposable plastic bowls.
Right.
Because they can go in and use a microwave in the stores or whatever. And I used to keep them in bags and they, ask them, well, here's some food. I'm not giving you money.
Yeah.
And it would always amaze me because you'd see those, no, I don't want food. It's like, yeah.
You want drugs is what you want.
You want drugs. You want money for booze. You're trying to make your living here.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, no. If you're truly homeless or whatever, doesn't matter. If somebody's giving you food, you're going to take it.
Well, I used to trip out because we did a thing when I first started doing the show. And I actually had my ex make up these signs. And it said, this bum break is sponsored by the shit that irks me. We paid them so you don't have to. And it gave the website alltalkradio.net down below. And what we would do is we'd pay somebody who was homeless $10 to hold the sign for an hour.
Nice.
Which is pretty fucking cool. And so, but you'll be surprised how many people we pass up and ask them, would they like to do this?
Right.
And they'd say, nah, man, that's not enough. And you'd be like, really?
Really? $10? Are you kidding me?
In your situation, and you're going to be picky?
$10 an hour when most people can't make $8.50 right now?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That right there has definitely diminished my fucking sympathy for any of those jerk-offs.
And that's it. And like I said, there are some legitimate. I want to make that perfectly clear that I'm not saying that There aren't. There are.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's the others that have made it impossible to know.
Well, that's it. And, you know, now it's like everybody gets stigmatized, you know, like, oh, you're just a fucking loser, you know. And I tend to do that, but I figure I'd rather do that than get taken advantage of, you know.
Right, right.
So, you know, unless you've got a really good story or a really cool thing, you know, there's every once in a while, you know, I will give, or if they're willing to help you with something. You know?
Right, right.
And you say, all right, like, for instance, I've had homeless people walk me across the street or something. You know, that's pretty fucking scary, crossing the goddamn street. So if somebody's there to help me, then, hey, I'm cool with that. So I'll give you a little money, you know. But if you're just expecting me to fucking, I bust my ass at work, and you expect me to give you some of what I owe, some of what I work for, oh, fuck you. You know? Nah, not happening.
No, that's exactly it. Well, that's okay, because you do know what time it is.
Yeah, it is time. Well, let's see if we can get this to work this time. All right, bitches.
Hey.
Be right back.
At last, the wait's finally over. Be Sick returns from a long hiatus with a brand new album entitled Mr. Zero Tolerance. Available for digital download only. Be Sick's no punches pulled approach on the mic gives listeners what they want, as well as gives the rap game a well-deserved kick in the ass. With such hard-hitting gems as the title track, Mr. Zero Tolerance.
Mr. Zero fucking tolerance, you fakes at your fun. My tongue's replacing the gun. My toleration is none. Fuck a buster and a bitch.
Or the laid-back, fun-filled street anthem entitled Change of Pace, featuring Ghost.
This is something to bump as a gift to the haters. So turn it up loud just to piss off your neighbors. And if you out rolling, you be getting a ticket. And if you
Straight to the guts, blind to the facts.
Blind to the facts that your mind's in a trap. Blind to the facts that with time we adapt. Blind to the facts of what you don't understand. Blind to the facts by the media scams. Blind to the facts of what you read in a book. Blind to the facts.
Download your copy today of Mr. Zero Tolerance from www.cdbaby.com or go to www.cdbaby.com/cd/bsick2. Download your copy today. Keep the realness in the rap game.
Stim Radio. Stim Radio. It's the shit that irks me. When I see since it's the shit that irks me. EJ. It's the shit that irks me. Jimmy Black.
Hey, most people don't plan to fail, but a lot of people fail to plan, and it really don't have to be like that. What you know about an IRA or a tax-deferred 401k? What you gotta pay to the government? Ever heard of a tax-exempt retirement? That's info most folks don't know. What you gonna do if you live too long? What you gonna do if you die too soon? Can your spouse afford the house? Will your family go bankrupt if you get sick? You got a plan in place to cover medical debt? I'm not talking about Advil. I'm speaking on long-term ill. You ever seen a bill from that home where Big Mama went to live? It's like $73,000 a year. How you gonna pay for that? 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 You work hard every day, but you really don't like it. You're looking at a retirement crisis. Got a good education, got a good job, got the age and the time, but still got robbed in 2008 when the market crashed. Wanna tell your boss to kiss your bus pass, but you can't cause you upside down and your savings on life support right now. Said you can't cause you upside down and your savings on life support right now. So you wake up in the morning and you put on your game face. Then you run out the house late, headed to the same place. On the bus like I'm stuck. In your car like I'm stuck. What you need is a solution. More income and less confusion. What you gonna do? Where you gonna go? Who you gonna talk to get the info and get money? You can talk to me. You can talk to me. You can talk to me. We got what you need. Or you can join the team. Build yourself and build your wealth by sharing what you learn with somebody else. Each one, teach one how money works. Stay compliant so nobody gets hurt. Move like a union, be ambitious. We all independent, follow the system. Move like a union, be ambitious. We all independent, follow the system. Hey, this is Travis. This song was recorded to get your attention. I have some powerful financial information that you should hear. The things that you need to put in place for a solid financial foundation in case you live too long, die too soon, if you become disabled or need to go into a home, or if you simply need access to a tax-free supplemental retirement or emergency fund, we have the information to put these proper plans in place in case any of these things happen. Contact me at my email. That's TKEETONWFG@gmail.com. That's TKEETONWFG@gmail.com. Let's set up an appointment, sit down at the kitchen table or coffee shop somewhere. I'll show you the information. If you have the need and the means, let's get it done. Or if you're looking for a business with a great compensation plan and a proven system, you should join the team. I know this business isn't for everyone, but it's one of those rare situations where if we all follow the system, it can be a win for all involved. The companies win, the clients win, or the families win, the brokers win. We're entrepreneurs, we're our own bosses. Everyone is a broker. We can make good money and travel around the world on the company's dime. Let's at least try to do it.
Stim Radio. Stim Radio.
You're on.
Yeah, there we go, bitches.
Yeah. That one was me this time.
Hour 2, segment 3. Actually, you're right. You told me to let you know, and I forgot. Because, I'm I've been so long.
Right. Normally at night anymore, I'm not the one doing this one. And like I said, this particular
right
pad has been. Now, I do know that you said you have.
I've got an SMJ that I would like to do because I think it's a holiday. I'm going to declare today a very special day. Oh yeah, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Gotta save that blind man. Gotta save him from danger. Gotta save that blind man. Gotta save him from strangers.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh yeah. So okay, here we go. It's annual Touch a Blind Nigga Day.
It's what?
Annual Touch a Blind Nigga Day. Because I swear to God, I don't know what the fuck was going today. And when you're blind, all that personal space and all that stuff, the social morals and things like that,
right,
go out the window. And like, for instance, the first one was on paratransit today. Now, there's myself and another guy, and we picked him up, and then we're headed towards, and the driver had a shitty attitude to begin with. She was a bit, like he asked, he goes, well, am I going to get there by 8:30? And she's like, well, you tell me. I've got 2 drop-offs at 8 o'clock, and I don't know if I'm going to make them, and blah, 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 blah. So what do you think? And she was just kind of shitty to the guy to begin with.
Wow.
So anyway, we get to my stop. She parks, opens the door, and says, okay, sir. And now there's, again, 2 men on the bus, so I don't know who the fuck she's talking to.
Right.
So I say, are you talking to me? And instead of going, yes, she does this. I don't know if you can see this on the camera. She started tapping my knee.
Wow.
And I'm like, really? If I'd have done that to you, you'd have sued me for sexual harassment. So I'm like, oh, so you're talking to me. I said, well, it would have been nice if you just would have used my name. And she goes, well, yeah. But I said, I guess you just can't read your manifest. So then I get off, and I go inside. I go to one of these, it's a networking breakfast,
Okay.
And I don't know why, But every time I go to these, and I guess my assistant has made me a little more cognizant of this shit because I never really think about it before, but now I do. Because he always says to me, why does everyone touch you all the time? And so I'm in there, and of course, everyone's coming up to me doing this.
Oh, wow. Well, because you can't possibly tell or know them unless they come up and touch you, right?
Here's the thing. Why don't you introduce yourself first?
Right.
And say, hey, Max, it's blah, blah, blah from so-and-so. Instead of the tapping or trying to be, or the other one. I love this one. They'll touch you, but they won't say anything. And then they want to see if you can guess who it is.
Oh, yeah.
And they really think they're being cute because my assistant will watch their body language and they'll kind of have this look like they're, like, don't say anything. Let's see if he can tell. It's like, do you have a fucking ounce of original thought in your corporate brain? Because a lot of them are just kind of corporate fuck faces that go from event to event and stuff their face and bullshit and backslap and network with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
But yeah, I had so many people come up to me today and start doing this shit and touching you and I'm just like, really, I'm wondering if the same thing happens with blind women. I don't know if you saw my Facebook status.
Right, I did.
And I'm very curious as to if you're a blind woman, does this occur too? Like, do you have men that come up and, how you doing, Janine? Well, let me play with your titties.
Yeah, right.
You know
it's like, because, okay, now, granted, my sight isn't affected, but I'm not a touchy-feely person. If you're walking up and you're just touching me, I'm going to find that offensive.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry, I don't see what having sight or not having sight has to do with that. I would never assume, even when you and I first met, that I would ever just walk up to you
and start touching
you. I would consider that an invasion of privacy.
Exactly. Why don't you come up and announce who you are?
Right.
That would help me a lot better than you rubbing and caressing on me. I mean, I don't know if they think like, well, they touch me, that means I know that they're there. No, how about you just come up, or either that or they think they startled you. I've had that happen before where somebody will say something and I didn't realize they were there.
Right.
Okay, you startled me. Not the end of the fucking world.
Okay, but I've had that. I'm sighted. I've had that. I mean, come on. You can't use that as an excuse to why you're just walking up and randomly touching somebody.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, I'm just trying to find the rationale in it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I will admit, and I've come up against you when you've come up with things. I'm like, yeah, that has nothing to do with the fact that you're not sighted. In this case,
this is pretty cut and dry, huh?
I would say, while yes, it does happen to sighted people, I would say it's much more has to do with the fact that you're not.
Yeah. Well, even, like I said, I've had others make comments on it. Why do people touch you all the time? Why come they got to come up and touch you? And it's like, you're right, because you don't, even you, if you were to go to one of these networking events and you went there several times,
right.
I don't think they'd come walking up and start rubbing on you and, hi, Ocelot, how are you?
Right, exactly. And if they did, they might regret that quickly.
That's what I'm saying. You just don't walk up and start touching motherfuckers.
I mean, even when you and I first met, before you knew kind of my isms and so forth, like now I can go, it's me.
Right, well, so that's all you got to do.
Right, but before that, I would always go, oh, hey, Maxwell, how are you? I'd simply speak to you. It's not like I wasn't running up and, ooh, Maxwell, I'm here. Let me run my hands all over. And,
right, you don't have to walk up and start touching me and shit. And it's like, well, what the fuck? If I did that to you, would you be pissed off? Probably so.
Right. I mean, I never even thought about doing that. I always... The only thing that ever entered my mind is like, oh, Maxwell's here. Hey, how are you?
Yeah. Well,
I know you can't see me, so yes, I'm going to announce that I'm here.
Well, and all that too is because they think he was a child. You know what I'm saying? You were not seen as a fellow adult. You're seen as another child. So, they figure it's like petting a kid on the head. How you doing, little buddy? Hey there, guy. How's it going? That kind of shit.
Yeah,
so,
and see, I don't even pet little kids on the head. I find that demeaning as well.
I don't either.
Really?
Unless it's somebody I know, like, somebody.
Right. Okay, different story if it's somebody you've got a history with.
But I'm a little freaked out. As a matter of fact, yes, my friend brought his daughter over for the first time last weekend. And his daughter's about 8 months old. And even then, they're like, well, you can touch her, but I'm still kind of, I'm a little bit leery. I'm like, well, are you sure? Where do I,
Well, right, but you know what? That's an actual natural response for somebody who doesn't have children.
Exactly. Where I'm a little nervous, like
right. Somebody who doesn't have children is like, ooh, I'm not so sure I want to reach out and touch or hold this child or whatever.
Holding him is weird to me too.
Right, because it's not your child for one. You don't have children for two.
Right. So
it's not something that you're really comfortable with.
Exactly.
I have children, now mine are grown, but even with that, reaching out and holding somebody else's child is still
strange. Yeah, it's like I'm ready to hand the kid back, and it's nothing of you're just like, I don't feel right.
Right. It's nothing to do with it's the kid. I don't want to touch it. It's odd.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's kind of strange to me.
I know people that are like, oh yeah, here, touch. It's like, really, you're just, to me, it's just odd. It's like you're passing your child around. You understand that, right?
Yeah, that's a little weird. And or the kid starts screaming and doesn't know who you are.
Right.
You're just like, oh fuck, now what do I do?
Right. How do I calm this child down? I mean, what am I gonna do? Yeah. What do I do with it?
And you're right. I don't have kids, so I don't share that same excitement. I'm not like, oh, this is great.
Right.
I mean, for me, it's scary. And
exactly.
So, and kids do freak me out.
Right. I mean, it's not like, oh, look, this is my godchild or my niece or nephew or whatever that,
right.
somebody that I'm incredibly close with. And if, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even that, it's a little different, but even it's still not quite the same.
Yeah. I'm still weirded out by it because I'm like,
right.
I don't know. Should I touch, and they're so little. But anyway, I guess that's my whole point. I don't even touch little kids. So,
right.
I mean, why would you go touch another adult? I've actually had somebody in one instance where, true story, I was at a house at a party, and the person had made some chocolate chip cookies, like fresh out of the oven.
Oh, right, right.
And so they're very crumbly, and the chocolate chips are falling into my lap, so I had some chocolate chips on my crotch. And the woman walks up. The couch, she comes up from behind the couch where I'm sitting and reaches over my shoulder and into my crotch and goes, oh, you dropped a few chips on your pee-pee.
Oh, hell no. I am sorry. If you're reaching your hand down towards my crotch, you're liable to get a stump back.
Exactly. And that's where I was just like, you know what? I got to tell you, I was so taken back. I was like,
right.
What the fuck? Did this really just happen?
You did not just come in and reach down and accost me, because that's basically what it is.
Right, exactly.
It's like, I may look at you and I've done it before. It's like, okay, Maxwell, you got shit all down the front of you. You need to wipe yourself off.
Yeah, you'll tell me.
But
to go over
I'm not
and
reaching
take
out.
initiative and go grab it right off my crotch.
Right, I'm not reaching out and touching you. I'm sorry. And I'm not putting my hand in your crotch. It just ain't happening.
And here's what, then you get dumbass, especially guys, sighted guys. You tell them these stories, and they're like, well, you didn't enjoy that? No, I didn't enjoy being demeaned because it wasn't something sexual.
No.
She wasn't turned on by that at all. This was like wiping a kid's ass.
Right. I'm not 2 years old, and you're not, she's reaching down and changing my diaper type of thing.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Well, and then the fact she made reference to it as my pee-pee.
Right, exactly. And that's exactly why I use that terminology. It's like, really, that's something as you're changing a child's diaper or taking a toddler to the bathroom, that type of thing, you're going to use that terminology. You're an adult.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd look at you, and granted, depending on my company, it would depend on how I phrased it to you. But, I'd say, hey, Maxwell, you've got some crumbs on your crotch there. You may want to
Yeah, well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
That's how normal people should be doing
exactly.
it.
I'm not reaching down there, and I'm not going to go, oh, you got some on your pee-pee, let me grab those, and I'm grabbing them. Hell no.
Oh, yeah. That's
hell no.
Totally fucking demeaning. So, and people don't see it that way. A lot of people, oh, what? That'd be pretty cool to me because you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, no.
And it's funny because, again, it's kind of like when I say that newly disabled people are loving their newfound disability. Because in some cases, that's what some people want.
Well, yeah, and we all know somebody in particular that
loves
to be coddled and wants to be led around and treated just like a child.
Fuck. Matter of fact, because we had to start up after their show, and because they did their 2-hour thing yesterday, and even when we're started up and Jerkman's trying to get me going and everything, she's coming in still wanting things from him.
Yeah.
You have this, you have that, you know. And it's like, dude, you see I'm doing a show. I wasn't coming in during your show.
Right, and that's exactly it. And this is why that particular person doesn't really like me that well.
Because you will say straight up, you find it yourself.
That's exactly it. I will turn them flat down and, oh, you need it? Well, then out, right, left, whatever, go for it. I'm not doing it for you.
I think I got Jerkman to finally see it. That's a non-disabled person's way. They actually teach that. I think that's where they're getting that from, because they're told, let people do things for you.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Let it happen.
No.
That kind of thing. And
it's like, I can understand first time, new place, not knowing your way around. And saying, hey, can you help me get there? I don't know the layout. I don't know where I'm at.
Right.
Fine. Hey, got it. Understand it. No problem. But when you've been at a place and and you've been there a few times, come on, you've got a brain.
You think.
Use it.
Yeah, or what's the other one that's really fucking... I had another example for you. Oh, what's that noise?
That would be my vape there.
Oh, okay, because I'm hearing this...
Yeah, see.
I'm like, what are you... Yeah, that's your vape cigarette?
That's it.
Okay, yeah, because I'm hearing this noise, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Which, by the way, has my, if I can swallow here, my homemade juice in it.
Oh, you make your own vape?
I make my own juice now.
Damn.
Ginger Snap and I took a class a month or so ago.
On how to make vape juice, huh?
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It is.
So, anyway, I've had people reach into... Like if I have a backpack or something like that, all of a sudden take it upon themselves to reach into my bag and start pulling things out or putting things in, and I'm like, no.
No, I'm sorry. That's kind of like my purse. I mean,
yeah, you don't reach in that shit.
No, exactly. You put your hand in my purse, you will definitely come back with a stump.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, granted, I may look at you and say, oh yeah, it's in there. Go ahead, reach in and grab it. That's one thing.
Right.
But don't take it upon yourself.
Well, I had somebody, one time I went and did an outreach event, and they gave me, it's right around Christmas, so they had these Santa hats that I guess the kids had made or some shit. And so they wanted to give me one, and I said, oh, thanks. I kind of left it on the table. Well, then as I was walking out, somebody noticed that I didn't take it, and the teacher goes, oh, you left your Santa hat here. And then so she tries to unzip my outreach bag. I'm like, whoa, hands the fuck back.
Right.
Do not reach into my fucking bag,
Yeah,
but
hell
it's just funny. I mean, what do you do in that case? Do you just fucking punch somebody and then you're an asshole, right? And then, I was just trying to help you.
Right.
And then they get very indignant. And
that's where I think the way that I would approach it is like, I understand you're trying to help, but this is like my personal bag. I'd prefer that you just, if it's something you think I need, say, here it is.
And what's funny to me is like, well, let's put the shoe on the other foot. Would you like me to reach into your shit?
Right. But again, it's the approach, and sometimes it's about being the bigger person. And I know you're talking about, gee, this happens more than once and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
But also,
it's
the same thing I used to tell my agents on the phone. This may be your 500th customer with this exact same issue. But remember, for this customer, it may be their first time.
Right. Well, my thing is, too, I mean, you can't educate a lot of these people, let's be honest.
Right. But you can at least once say.
Yeah. Well, and you just would think, like, man, come on. You don't just, you don't reach into my bag. I'm perfectly capable of doing that.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't do it. But then we all know that there are people that you just have to out and out tell them.
Yeah. Or I have heard of blind people that will hit somebody for grabbing them or for touching their shit.
And I gotta admit, if I'm walking away somewhere and I feel somebody sticking their arm in my purse, my first reaction
would be to punch them.
Would be to hit you.
Yeah.
I mean, because first of all, I think you're trying to help yourself to something.
Yeah, like, or are you stealing from me? What are you doing?
Right.
You didn't announce what you're doing.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And that's a legitimate response.
When I've told people, don't do that because you will get hit.
Right.
And they'll be like, oh, really? And then they're very amazed. And I'm like,
Right.
really? Don't believe me? Try it with somebody else.
Right.
I know what's up, but there's a lot of blind people that don't.
Exactly.
And they'll hit your ass. You know what I'm saying?
For me, and we've talked about this before, it's about using common sense.
Oh, you just said one of the worst words I ever used on the show before.
Because unfortunately, most people out there have no idea what such a thing is. And it doesn't truly exist very often anymore.
No. Common sense and common courtesy.
Right.
I was talking to somebody about that today, how, you get people that don't even fucking return phone calls anymore.
Exactly. If I'm really busy and I don't get a chance to return a text or a call or whatever, usually one of the first things I say is, I'm sorry it took me so long. Look, I've been backlogged. It's common courtesy to, if you're delayed, to apologize for the delay and then move forward.
And it depends on the nature of the thing, too. I mean, sometimes you do have people that are pains in the ass.
Right.
And that just want to talk about nothing and you know it, and it's a dimple call and it's
right.
stupid.
Well, that's a different story, but I'm talking about...
Oh, business-wise.
Like business-wise, or even, it's a friend or whatever, and they sent you a quick text, hey, by the way, XYZ, whatever. And it's usually just common courtesy to send back, oh, hey, thank you, got it. Or, like I said, sometimes I'm busy at work or whatever. I usually try to shoot something back, say, sorry, it took me a while, just saw it or just got to it. Thank you.
Yeah. Or I'll do that too. Sometimes I'll say, busy, call you later or something.
Right.
Some shit, but I at least acknowledge that, hey, I got this phone call.
Exactly. Don't leave them hanging. I think it's rude for them going, did you get it? Or what's going on?
Yeah. Well, and my thing has kind of been too, I've sort of backed off from doing business with anybody who won't return a phone call in a timely manner.
Right.
So if you call me like 5 months later and you expect me to be, all roses and bells for your punk ass,
right.
I'm not doing that shit.
Right.
Sorry.
And when I say when I get busy, I may not get back to it right away. I'm not talking about like 5 months later. I'm talking about, it may be a few hours just because it came in and I was slammed.
Fine.
And
that's fine.
It's okay, I'm sorry it took me 4 hours to be able to return to you, but I did see it.
Somebody shouldn't expect that kind of instant gratification anyway.
Right, but it's just common courtesy, once again, to acknowledge that, yes, there was a delay.
Right.
But I am interested in what you sent me, or I appreciate that you even took the time to do so.
Yeah, no, I mean, but for somebody to take, several months before even getting back to you.
No, I'm sorry. That's not an excuse. The only time that's ever been an excuse is like my phone had issues where I wasn't getting text. And I had somebody finally call, what, you're not talking to me anymore, whatever? I'm like, what are you talking about?
See, that's a little much, man.
Right.
Get ass hurt over that kind of shit.
Well, and they were because there were no responses. They were sending, I wasn't getting them. And so by them contacting me, I was like, oh, wow, okay, I'm not getting your text. Let's figure out what's going on.
Right.
Seems to be working now at this point. But this is why I always say it's important to at least try to get back to somebody, even if it's a few hours later, saying, hey, because then things like this, it's technology. Things like this happen. Sometimes messages get lost. Sometimes texts get lost. There are different things that can happen. If you're not hearing back and then you wonder what's going on.
Here's something strange. I had a guest on the show one time, and he was a bit weird, and I really didn't enjoy him as a guest, whatever. Well, lately, he sent me an email. This is how I know it was him. Well, several things. He sent me an email, pushing his new book that he's got out now, and it's something new. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, whatever. So I just kind of disregarded it, because I didn't really plan on having him back on. Well, I've been getting phone calls from his phone number, but the thing is, they'll do this. He won't let it go to voicemail. He lets it ring a few times, then he hangs up.
Oh, then he does the decline.
Or, or like missed call or whatever.
Right.
So then I'm thinking what he wants me to do is call him back, go, yo, who's this? And then he's got me trapped. So I don't even call him back. I'm thinking if you don't even want to state your business on my fucking voicemail, then I don't need to talk to you that bad.
Well, see, and that's it. I'm a busy person, especially during the day. I've got, who knows what I've got going on at any given point.
Yeah.
So if if you're calling me and you're not leaving me a message, then I'm assuming it's not important and I don't need to make an immediate reply.
Well, see, and he doesn't even wait for the voicemail.
Right, he just shuts it down.
Right, he might give it like 3 rings or something,
Right.
and then all of a sudden it says, missed call or something.
And that's the whole thing too. Sometimes on their end, it's rang 2 or 3 times, but on your end, on your phone, it's rang once, maybe twice.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Not
you haven't
enough for
had
me
a
to
chance to
grab
even
it.
pick it up.
Exactly, and I'm not going to play the game of, let me call you back and see what you wanted.
Right.
If you didn't leave me a message or you don't want to text me or tell me what the fuck you want, then to me it's not important, so I'm leaving you alone. Well, it's like this other, you haven't been here in a while, but anyway, there's a girl I have in my phone as, I have her labeled as Retilvia. Retarded Sylvia.
Oh, nice.
And but I remember one time she called me, she kept calling, and finally I call her back, and I said, what's going on? Well, I want to tell you what happened, and I got a question for you. And I'm like, okay, well, what's your question? What do you want to tell me? Well, if you're busy, no, tell me now. I obviously got the time to call you back.
Right.
Well, I'm somewhere and I'm busy. Well, then, you know what? She's like, I'll call you back in a little bit. And I'm like, okay, well, she never does. And then she called back like a day later.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? This shit isn't important. You're just a fucking tard. So,
Well, and that's exactly it. And that's why we have such things as, well, when it works right.
There we go.
We have breaks.
And I'm going to go take a piss.
Oh, thank you.
What up, though? It's the undeniable JT Money, a.k.a. the Bitchizer, and you tuned in to Stim Radio with Maxwell Silverhammer and GJ the Jerkman. Heavy that. And guess what? They hate hoes almost as much as I do. So don't sleep on these cats. And speaking of sleeping, don't forget to check out my new single, Hustling, from my new project, Morning Wood. It's going down heavy, baby. And speaking of being out, I'm out like a busted traffic like you already know. Get him, Jay!
At last, the wait's finally over. Be Sick returns from a long hiatus with a brand new album entitled Mr. Zero Tolerance. Available for digital download only. Be Sick's no punches pulled approach on the mic gives listeners what they want, as well as gives the rap game a well-deserved kick in the ass. With such hard-hitting gems as the title track, Mr. Zero Tolerance.
Mr. Zero fucking tolerance, fakes at your fun. My tongue's replacing the gun. My toleration is none. Fucking Buster and a bitch.
Or the laid-back, fun-filled street anthem entitled Change of Pace, featuring Ghost.
This is something to bump as a gift to the haters. So turn it up loud just to piss off your neighbors. And if you out rolling, you be getting a ticket. And if you
Straight to the guts, blind to the facts.
Blind to the facts that your mind's in a trap. Blind to the facts that with time we adapt. Blind to the facts of what you don't understand. Blind to the facts by the media scams. Blind to the facts of what you read in a book. Blind to the facts.
Download your copy today of Mr. Zero Tolerance from www.cdbaby.com or go to www.cdbaby.com/cd/bsick2. Download your copy today. Keep the realness in the rap game.
Hey, most people don't plan to fail, but a lot of people fail to plan, and it really don't have to be like that. What you know about an IRA or a tax-deferred 401k? What you gotta pay to the government? Ever heard of a tax-exempt retirement? That's info most folks don't know. What you gonna do if you live too long? What you gonna do if you die too soon? Can your spouse afford the house? Will your family go bankrupt if you get sick? You got a plan in place to cover medical debt? I'm not talking about Advil. I'm speaking on long-term ill. You ever seen a bill from that home where Big Mama went to live? It's like $73,000 a year. How you gonna pay for that? 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 You work hard every day, but you really don't like it. You're looking at a retirement crisis. Got a good education, got a good job, got the age and the time, but still got robbed in 2008 when the market crashed. Wanna tell your boss to kiss your bus pass, but you can't cause you upside down and your savings on life support right now. Said you can't cause you upside down and your savings on life support right now. So you wake up in the morning and you put on your game face. You run out the house late, headed to the same place. On the bus like I'm stuck. In your core like I'm stuck. What you need is a solution. More income and less confusion. What you gonna do? Where you gonna go? Who you gonna talk to get the info? And get money. You can talk to me. You can talk to me. We got what you need. You can join the team. Build yourself and build your wealth by sharing what you learn with somebody else. Each one, teach one how money works. Stay compliant so nobody gets hurt. Move like a union, be ambitious. We all independent, follow the system. Move like a union, be ambitious. We all independent, follow the system. Hey, this is Travis. This song was recorded to get your attention. I have some powerful financial information that you should hear. Things that you need to put in place for a solid financial foundation in case you live too long, die too soon, if you become disabled or need to go into a home, or if you simply need access to a tax-free supplemental retirement or emergency fund. We have the information to put these proper plans in place in case any of these things happen. Contact me at my email. That's TKEETONWFG@gmail.com. That's TKEETONWFG@gmail.com. Let's set up an appointment, sit down at the kitchen table or coffee shop somewhere. I'll show you the information. If you have the need and the means, let's get it done. Or if you're looking for a business with a great compensation plan and a proven system, you should join the team. I know this business isn't for everyone, but it's one of those rare situations where if we all follow the system, it can be a win for all involved. The companies win, the clients win, or the families win, the brokers win. We're entrepreneurs, we're our own bosses. Everyone is a broker. We can make good money and travel around the world on the company's dime. Let's at least try to do it.
Oh, yes, bitches. The final fucking segment.
Thank fucking God.
See, look, you worked through this, you know, and we got through it, though. Obviously.
But I'm telling you, it's really irritating the hell out of me.
It's kind of like that last final thing where you're just like, okay, come on. It's that final stretch. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about irrational fear. You know, like when I was going back here to take a piss, that hallway is just creepy. And,
yeah.
You know, but like, what's going to happen? You know, who's going to jump out at you and grab you and all that? You know, the likelihood of that happening is pretty fucking...
Well, yeah, but just because of the other issues that we've had before.
I mean, I gotta say, the ghost, it's kind of funny. The one that I had when I was growing up, you know, was menacing because of their presence. They never did anything to actually hurt me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was just their presence being there was scary, you know. But I never. That was a car, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
But no, but their presence was menacing, but they never actually, you know, hurt me or whatever. Now, and the ghosts I've run across, you know, in my older age,
right?
You know, same thing. They're not dangerous. You know, they're just, you know, it's just kind of like, oh, it's a little ominous. But, you know, I've never had a ghost grab me by the throat. And like some of the stories you tell me, I'm like, really?
Well, yeah, AK and I have, you know, a little different issue going on.
Damn.
You know, and with that, sometimes it does get downright dangerous.
I mean, because I was a little bit freaked. I was like, I could just see somebody jumping out in the bathroom and grabbing me. And,
right.
And I'm like, well, wait, what the fuck would they want to do that for? You know, there's really no reason to do that.
There, like I said, there have been issues, both AK and I have had issues where there have been actual attacks. So with that, it gets downright dangerous.
That's kind of strange. Yeah, that's, I guess, you know, with your guy, and has that been here or where have you, or just at home?
Well, each of us actually, we have one. Each of us has one at home.
Uh-huh.
And then we also, the one here doesn't like us very well. There we have the one menacing one.
Huh. Because for me, they don't really, you know, I don't know. Which, by the way, and this was kind of, do you know that one night when we heard somebody pulling on this door back here?
Yeah, that was them.
That was them fucking with us. And it's like,
I know it was.
You know, but it's that kind of shit. It's like, this is why you don't fuck around with that stuff.
Right.
You know, because you're tempting fate.
You are. And like I said, because we do have the particular issue here that we do, you know, some are nominal and they're, you know, just passing through or whatever, and they're not a problem. But we do have the one that is fairly menacing and been fairly aggressive, you know, about things. The one thing that they never admitted to, and they actually still to this day say they didn't do, is the chair being flipped over out there.
Yeah, that was the one. I remember that. We came back from the store and they turned the chair over or something. Or
and they didn't.
They said they didn't. Yeah. So
yeah.
Hopefully, well, they admitted to the door one.
Right,
so
and that's why that's why I said, you know, they admitted to the door, they admitted to all the other stuff. At that point, they really would have admitted.
But you know, even the joking, and you think AK especially wouldn't have even gone along with the joke like that because you one thing you understand when you've been involved with paranormal groups is you don't fuck around. You don't play.
No, because you're asking for trouble at that point.
Exactly. You don't jump out from behind a wall and you know, or whatever. You know, that's just, it's childish, man.
At that point,
when you know that there's an entity for real.
Right,
you know?
because at that point you're giving them the okay to get more aggressive usually.
Exactly. So, and that's something, I remember that. That was one thing that they did tell us in that group, that, you know, anybody doing that kind of shit, you will never be asked to go on any more investigations.
Right.
And, you know, all kinds
and that's
of things.
it. I mean, like I said, the one, my particular issue, the one that I have can get fairly aggressive. I have to keep a very firm hand, and don't get me wrong, I have no illusion of control because you really don't have control, but I have to stay strong and keep a certain strength going. If I don't, it does get fairly dangerous. I mean, I've been marked with bruises and other things that have come of this.
Yeah, that thing sounds like you got a pretty like rare, almost rare situation with you with what you got.
It is. It's more rare, and you know, it's the same thing with AK and hers. I mean, just like me, bruises, scratches.
Wow.
You know.
See, at most, you know, entities that I know of, you know, they might make sounds or make shit fall off a wall or something, but you know, never have I been pushed or punched or touched or you know anything like that. So, you know, I don't know.
You know, things as benign but irritating as slapping my feet when I'm trying to sleep.
Right.
You know, gets irritating. But then I've also been punched and pinched and bit and scratched.
Here comes this irrational fear now. If you, because I'm sitting here going, now I can just see something walking up here punching me.
Well, yeah. The thing is, that's exactly it. I could be in a sound sleep and literally wake up in pain, and you can see almost like the outline of a fist.
Damn.
Where, you know, because it gets red and so forth before it does, and bruises. I've seen teeth marks.
Shit.
Yeah.
That sounds more like a demon than a ghost.
Well, and that's the whole thing. We're not necessarily saying it's one thing or the other. It's fairly malevolent, what it is, and so it tends to follow. Because I've lived different places, the same as she has, and
yeah, that doesn't sound like a ghost doing haunting. That sounds like some shit that's somehow following you. That might be a Jane question. Like, how the fuck do you get rid of something like that, you know?
Well, and like you said, we've talked about that with them before, and unfortunately, this has been around with me for so long that trying to get rid of it could be extremely dangerous and a very long and iffy process.
Yeah. Well, that's you just don't want it to get worse and more powerful. And
Right. But because it's been around for so long, and because I've been around this and sensitive to this for so long, so much of my life, like I said, I have no delusion of control.
Right.
But I do know how to stay stronger than it, so to speak.
Right.
And I guess, for lack of a better term, have some form of control over what is occurring.
Right.
You know, I also know how to block myself off, so it's not like it can enter. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know that there are people out there going, "Oh God, she's crazy," whatever. Unless you've been there and been involved in that, you don't know.
Now, why is Loon calling me? She, of all the people, should know I do a show at this time.
That's it. You got 2 minutes left, too, before we...
That's funny. I don't know what she wanted, but anyway. And it's kind of late. She's over on the East Coast. It's almost midnight over there.
Wow, yeah, it is late.
So, I don't know. I guess I'll listen to her message on the way home. Well, that might keep the talkative drivers away.
Well, yeah, there you go.
That would be
they may.
The ones that want to ask me what we talked about tonight and all that kind of
right.
shit. But, yeah, it's just funny, the irrational fears that you have, like, why am I worried about this shit?
It does.
You know?
It happens. And on those fears, we're going to let you fear your way right out the door.
Fucking A, man. I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
I'm Ocelot.
And that's the story there, bitches. See ya.